Hello, guys, and welcome to another Space School webinar hosted by Metro. As you know, we've been doing these for the last, I don't know, probably year and a half, especially during when the pandemic broke. We've found it very successful, and you guys seemed very engaged with it. So we want to continue. So our next topic today is smart solutions. What's your lineup look like? So we kind of want to get into some of our equipment, but we want to talk about a couple of things. No, I don't know if you guys know this, but yeah, Metro is now sponsoring some football teams. Actually, that's just a joke, as you can see. Moving on, in case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Glen Lawless. I'm with Metro. I've been here in sales for a couple of years now, and I know that I've done some trainings with a lot of you guys out there. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this, and hopefully it's a good nugget for you as far as bringing some industry insight, some knowledge to the table, whether you are an operator, whether you are a dealer, or wherever you are in the food service industry. We hope you find this very helpful. Again, talking about smart solutions, what kind of equipment are out there for you? We're going to be able to introduce you to this. So kind of, kicking off with the football theme, all right? A lot of people have been wondering, we're in this uncertain time. What's going on? What's happening? The good news is I think we can tell this is unprecedented time. In the industry, we're seeing that, things are starting to come back, right? Things are starting to come back. And as you go from Metro's side as a manufacturer, supply chain issues, we're just trying to keep up. And I think the good news is we're seeing those things, kind of trickle down. Things are getting better. We are seeing some improvement. And according to a report by Data Essential through an article in FES magazine, they are saying that, consumers are out there. It's happening, right? They're going to restaurants. We're going out. We're continuing to do what we can do through all this, right? In fact, they say in this year, in 2022, we're going to be able to see 717 billion consumers or guests in restaurants. I'm sorry, the dollar amount, as far as spending goes in the industry. That's a 21% increase in the industry year over year. So that's huge. That just tells us that, it hasn't died. Consumers are coming back. They want to go out. They want to spend money. They want these experiences. Again, being able to be social, being able to have that convenience is very important to them. And I think we all learned that, during the pandemic, even though we're trying to, move through all this. The great thing with that being said is that, we know that, during this time, a lot of employees in your operations, in food service operations, kind of were able to just take a step back and think about, do they really want to be in the hospitality field? And unfortunately, we are seeing that, right? One of the biggest issues out there is help, right? They're making other decisions. They're deciding to go somewhere else possibly. And, I think that has lent itself to staff shortages, which we know, these staff shortages that are coming up, again, it's becoming a major issue, being able to get help out there. You're going to your favorite restaurant. Unfortunately, this is just reeling back on what some of our favorite restaurants can do. I know you guys are walking into either your operation or you're walking to your favorite restaurant, and what we usually be able to be open, they had to cut back, right? Full service restaurants are cutting back a lot of their hours. All right, they're not getting the same help, but they still expect that same customer experience. Okay, we live in a need it now, instant menu, instant meal kind of society, and unfortunately, we know that with these higher expectations, even after the pandemic, the initial shock of it, people still want those experiences. And I would say they even want more, unfortunately. But we know this can lead to longer lead times, unfortunately. So, with that being said, we know this, right? Customers out there are the end users out there, the customers that are going into these restaurants. They're basically saying, you know what, time is very valuable to me, and I'll do it myself. I mean, if you don't believe it, look at all the trend in take-home kits from restaurants, which is happening right now. As you guys know, some of you had decided to maybe make money that way, right? Offering kits instead of making it yourself in the establishment. So, again, time is very valuable to your customers, to these guests in these restaurants, and they're basically saying, I'll do it myself. So that's kind of opened the door really for the quick service restaurant industry, right? The QSR. So drive-throughs are huge. We're seeing it carry out, right? And ultimately delivery, still pretty big. Okay, all these things have not gone away. And in fact, as you guys know, whether you're a dealer, whether you're a customer, these are all areas where you guys are expanding and trying to grow. People still want the convenience, but again, being able to have that kind of convenience and get what they want when they want it is really opening the doors. So, with that being said, there's some of the biggest operators out there. For example, Taco Bell. You've probably seen this in the industry where they are opening their new Defy concept, which is basically they're dedicating a second level just to their operations, and the first level is basically a mobile pickup. So 4 lanes of drive-throughs. So that's how much space. I mean, this thing looks like basically a bank. It's just changing the way we're doing things. The digital footprint is getting bigger. So what you're seeing is mobile pickup, delivery. All these things again are just driving this trend, and I don't think it's going anywhere, right? So with that being said, and again, kind of bring it back to this football theme. Again, the playoffs were this weekend. So hopefully your team won this weekend. But regardless, this is something you're seeing right here that we used to yell. I used to play football back in the day, and I remember having to yell this actually in it was a defensive mechanism where you yelled flex right, flex left. Basically, you went to where the offense was. Okay, you went to where the ball was. And with that same thing, we're seeing these new trends in, maybe you guys haven't heard of this, but in flex kitchens. So flex kitchens are very similar to some of the shared commissary kitchens that you might have seen, the ghost kitchen concepts. But not only are they flexible in the equipment that they offer, but also the arrangements. You're not tied in. And maybe you as an operator, maybe this is something you've already considered. Maybe some of the dealers that are out there, maybe you guys have also considered working or getting equipment for this. But basically, flex kitchens are allowing operators more flexibility, whether it's a certain piece of equipment they need, maybe their time span. It's literally flexible within the short term, so it could go month to month. And you can see this, right? Some of the different types of concepts that we're seeing or users are using as caterers, bakers, food developers, meal prep companies, delivery only ghost kitchens, okay, and concept developers. Again, all these types of, especially toward the end there, all are I would say connected to that trend of this QSR concept, right? The concept of whether they're a ghost kitchen, whether they're doing mobile order or just delivery. So again, all kind of lends itself to this type of trend that we're seeing. And again, in a recent article in FAS magazine, one of the operators are the company owners of this were saying that they're offering customizable dry, cold, and freezer storage, okay? From as little as a shelf on a rack to a full rack to a sheet racks to cages or security. So being Metro and knowing what we do and providing this store, we thought this was very interesting that you can literally just get a shelf in a freezer. So it kind of reminds me of the college days where you just relegated your food, right to a certain shelf in a fridge or something. Except, I don't know, maybe they are writing their name on it. I'm pretty sure. So with that being said, with this, this flexibility, with the need to, adapt very quickly, we're saying that one of the smart plays possibly out there is to consider what we call as Metro, what we call our smart solutions. So what are smart solutions? So here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I love a custom, pre-measured, pre-fitted suit. Okay, going out there, getting measured, getting tailored, a custom tailored suit. But sometimes you need the flexibility. Maybe I don't have the budget. Maybe I don't have the time span to be working all these through. So conveniently, I could just go out maybe on the rack, if you will, no pun intended, and just grab a suit right off the rack. So that's something very similar with this. We offer easy order application kits, and that's kind of how we want you to think of these kits as, basically based off your application, you don't have to go in and figure out what part number, go out and, I mean, obviously there's some basic footprint decisions, but you don't have to have this long, approach to things. So again, they're easy order, easy part numbers that you basically have at your fingertips. They're pre-configured kits. Okay, they're simple, they're available, and what we say is they're things that are already proven in the industry. Many times, Metro has brought a lot of these types of solutions to some big chains or some bigger organizations that we customized for them, and we found out that they were basically applicable in many situations. So we kind of wanted to bring that ease with you. And although they might not be one box all the time, we try our best to make sure that it is the case. So what kind of applications are out there? So number one, we have to-go delivery and order pickup. And because of what we just shared with you, in the industry trends and what you guys are seeing out there, for example, you have a more mobile order pickup. This is just one type of product that we consider in our smart solutions. And you might have seen some of the marketing that we've done. We also have our heated shelving concepts included in, for example, our Metro to Go brand, where you can have these easy order kits that have pre-configured heated shelves in a number of configurations that you might need. Again, but we want to make it simple. I'm going to run through a couple of applications for you. Drive-through order holding and staging. Right here, we have basically it's a workstation with heated shelving built into it during your prep. So again, you can see that grid in the background that really helps you take things off your workspace and be a little bit more efficient. Again, with that trend of heat shelving that we were sharing with you, it lends itself to that delivery and to-go trend. Front counter, okay? Again, if you have a space where you need this, the roll under concept is really great. You have a condiment cart. Again, great application. Food prep. As you can see here, we have a prep table with a smart wall and cart. So you have a prep table with an under, kind of nested cart underneath that you can slide out. And again, we have that smart wall up top overhead that gives everything off your workspace and onto the wall. And finally, or not finally, but another concept is I think people sometimes forget about this when they are thinking about their walk-in or freezer, okay? These are actually bays, if you will, or docking stations where, based off the size that you have in your walk-in or freezer, you can slide these racks right underneath and you have that overhead storage area. Again, overlooked, but you'd be surprised what those two shelves there above will be able to create more efficiency and additional space, up to 20, 25, 30, who knows, percent space in your walk-in or freezer. Dry storage, again, with the trend in disposables and cups, and right here, an overhead cup storage unit. Basically, you let us know the size of your footprint and your span, and we'll be able to provide a unit similar to that. Next, the manager's area. Again, sometimes an overlooked area, but you need that space to be able to be efficient, to get organized, and drive a lot of decisions that your operation does. So you can see here's a manager station with a security unit up top, cage. You have some shelves and a smart wall rack that gets things, again, off your workspace and on the wall to take advantage of that. So in a nutshell, that was a lot of our smart solutions. If you go to metro.com, you're going to be able to see all those things that we have to offer for you. But I think another thing we just wanted to share with you is that, talking about part numbers and just trying to figure out what's the right solution for you, you can actually go online to our metro.com/design-tools/ and it's basically our builder. It's an online digital tool that just makes things a lot easier to help visualize, to configure the solution that you need. And that's it. So hopefully you guys have learned a lot. I know this is very quick, but this is what we want it to be, just short and insightful, impactful information for your day. If you have any questions, just email us at metrofoodservice@metro.com. I'm Glen Lawless, and again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.